Whirling. Okay, Renato. So first, we will ask you to present yourself, to say, to give your name and what you are doing as a field of research and what you will do in Yasuni, if you participate to Amazonia P1140328.
Well, my name is Renato Valencia, and I'm a forest ecologist working basically with the forest diversity and dynamics of trees. That's my main specialty in Yasuni. And connected with that particular topic, I'm doing some different other things. Like, for instance, I collaborate in projects like the forest dynamics concerning the production of seeds and seedlings in the forest.
And what?
Seedlings.
Seedlings, yeah.
Seedlings in the forest. And also we are trying to understand how are the carbon fluxes in the forest, because we basically have estimation of the carbon stocks in Yasuni and how that varies in the landscape. But we want to have a more precise way to estimate also how much is the forest losing, for instance, how much the forest is changing through time concerning the carbon stocks and the fluxes, basically. So those are, I would say, the main things I'm working and collaborating. There are a few other things related to this.
Okay. In Amazonia Biodiesel, there is different objectives of the mission, and we see that there is objective about the characterization of let me check my characterization of the trees in the area where the towers will be built. Could you tell us a little bit more about what are the what is the intention of this okay, this is here. So the objective is to characterize the emerging trees of Yasuni and also the epiphytes and trying to characterize the population of the emerging trees of the biodiesel.
Mm-hmm.
So, will you participate to this? How will you, and if yes, how will you do this?
Well, Esteban invited me some time ago to be part of that particular project. I must say that I don't know all the details, because I consider that the canopy of the forest is something particular of the forest, you know. And we, of course, deal with the canopy of the forest, but our main experience in the field is from the ground.
Yeah.
So it's little known. Basically, the canopy, the biology, what's happening in the canopy of the forest is little known in Yasuni, as well as many other aspects of the forest, but that in particular. Having said so, I also see that the forest in Yasuni is particular also in the way the trees are emergent, because there is a number of emergent trees. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
And I think there are some species that are specifically emergent in Yasuni. One of those, an iconic species, is the ceibo.
Yeah.
This is what is called ceibo. There are at least like 2 or 3 species of ceibo, but Cedrela pentandra is one of the main things that is a characteristic feature. And the other that is an interesting emergent is what we call chuncho, which is a Cedrelinga, the genus of Cedrelinga catenniformis. Presently, we have a tower that is, just next to one of these big trees in Yasuni. So we do have some emergence. The forest is not as high as in other continents like Asia or Africa. In those continents, the trees tend to be larger. But in Yasuni, we have a canopy of around 30 meters.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the emergence can go up to 50 meters, over this height. So that's what what we know. We deal with this, but we don't really know what is happening in the canopy.
Okay. Do you think you could give us a kind of synthesis about, I know it's a big topic, but about the plant strategies in terms of seed dispersal? Because they tend to put all their flowers and seeds into the highest part. And then there is a very huge variety of seed dispersal strategy. Could you kind of make a synthesis of the main strategies the plants are taking to ensure their reproduction?
Yeah, well, there is a multiplicity of mechanisms by which plants are dispersing the species. I would say that there is a relatively large number of species that disperse just by gravity. They are just opening fruits, basically, because the seeds comes from fruits and, flowering plants. And then many of those fruits are dispersed just because the fruits open. They are like dry fruits, so they eventually open, and the seeds drop. And if there's some wind, then the seeds goes around the forest. But you can see in many cases in the ground that there are lots of seeds around the mother tree. So that's one of the typical things that you find in the forest.
A lot of seeds around?
Around the mother tree, the tree that produces the fruit. So since they drop by gravity, they will be around the tree, that particular tree. But then there is a number of things that are happening in the underground. For instance, there are like animals that come to have either the fruits, because sometimes it's not like only the seeds, but the fruits or part of it comes down. So it depends. If in the fruit disperse only the seeds will be, maybe they are lighter in some cases, maybe they go a little farther.